Hi everyone and welcome to episode 6. In the last episode we built this amazing frog light farm. It was quite the chore and the frogs did not cooperate, but the good news is it's all ready now and we have so many frog lights. We have more frog lights than we could ever use, I think. We also got a really good start on our nether hub. I don't think I showed this off in the last video, but I did put frog lights in here just as a temporary block. I would really like to use some glass to create a fog effect, but we don't have that much glass right now. Which means we have to get our villagers situated this episode. As you saw at the end of the last episode, we also defeated the End Dragon, and I did a little bit of end busting in between episodes, so now we finally have an Elytra. Now, I only have 64 rockets to my name, so I want to get working on a mob farm first today. I'm going to be doing a design by ENX04, and I'll leave his video in the description box below. But I'm just going to go out a little ways until we can't see our island anymore, because this is going to be kind of an ugly farm. I'm actually going to build it over these ruins right here, because our sea temple is right there. Our base is out of sight in this direction, and I have another farm by ENX04 that I want to build for a guardian farm, and so maybe if we build our mob farm over here, we can find an AFK spot that will activate both of these at the same time. That would be perfect. Okay. We are exactly 100 blocks away from here. I think that will give us enough room to build the mob farm, the guardian farm, and will be close enough to each other that they could both be active at the same time. I'm going to drive this boat a little ways away because it's full of bamboo, and I'm going to just use some lava to make a platform here. Okay, we're going to set up camp here a little bit. Okay, then we're going to do an observer. 4 trapdoors. Bum, 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 bum. And then we're going to put scaffolding around here. And then additional 6 blocks. 6. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need to sleep. Okay, and then we're just going to fill it in. Oops. And that is one platform done already. Super easy. The reason that it's scaffolding is because apparently you can use this method to make the clock on the bottom that will trigger the water to push the mobs off of the platform. It is all way too advanced for my 2 brain cells. I'm not a redstoner, so that's why I'm copying ENX04's farm. And he describes in detail the reason why you build it like this, so you should definitely go check out his video if you're interested in making your own mob farm. So this is one platform. He says you can do up to 25. That's a little intense for me. I don't think we need that many drops. I have 8 dispensers. Well, 9. We've already used one. And so I think I'm just going to build up 8 more platforms, and then we'll see where we're at. So I was only able to build 5 layers, and I've run out of string for my scaffolding, so I will just have the 5 layers for now. The good thing about this farm is that it's expandable, and you don't have to do anything except for remove the roof and just keep building more layers, because the clock is at the bottom, like I said earlier. Okay, here's where the redstone comes in, so we might screw it up, we'll see. Now all I have to do is set up a collection system, which I'm not going to use the one that he used. I'm going to use a traditional minecart hopper collection system. And I still have to add the roof onto here, so I will be right back. Here we are in the AFK platform for our mob farm, which is done. It gave me a lot of problems. Again, I mean, I'm not a redstoner, so it was a little difficult for me. There's probably, I don't know, maybe a little more than a dozen platforms, and as you can see, it does work. We did encroach on the sea temple a little bit, so I'm a little nervous that our guardian farm might not work, but I'll have to see when I build it. Initially, I had one minecart system covering this whole area, but this farm actually produces a lot of drops, so basically nothing was getting picked up because it was just in the unloading system the whole time. So I split it up, and there are now 4 minecart tracks going around, one in each quadrant, and they all have their own unloading system, and then they all meet back up over here, which is probably not the most efficient way, and it's certainly not the prettiest, but we can always come back here and make it beautiful. So basically all of the unloading systems come through here, and they get spit out into here, which is a sorting system for all of the drops and then the extras. So I've been AFK for about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. And we'll see how much this actually produced. Oh man, I forgot that witches are a thing. Well, that's okay. This can just be like the random witch drops. Because that would have added another like 4 chests to this system, and we don't have room for that. And let's see how much we got in like 20, maybe 30 minutes. I don't know. Oh my gosh. It's almost a whole chest of rotten flesh. It's a decent amount of bones. Okay, okay. Whew, finally, our gunpowder issues are solved. We can make TNT and rockets to our heart's content. The spider eyes are so weird. They barely produce anything. This project took a little bit longer than expected, but you know what? It's done now, and it's so worth it. Coming back home, this island looks so bare. I love the things we've done with it, but it just needs a little bit more. And I feel so bad about leaving all of our villagers down here to just be so lonely. Oh no! Harold is gone. How the heck did that happen? He was name tagged and everything. Well, it looks like we're gonna have to get a replacement Harold, but as for you guys, I would like to get you guys out. We're gonna need a lot of librarians because librarians sell glass. And we need a lot of glass for our nether hub, and I'm way too lazy to go mine out an entire desert. So in the name of getting our little villagers out from their hole and starting to finish up this village, I think it's time we build a library. And I want this great library to be sort of a focal point of this island. You know, I want it to grab most of the attention when you look at it. So the best place for that, I think, will be right smack dab in the center. Which means we are going to have to let all of these sheep and cows free. Come on, I know you guys have been cooped up for a long time. It's time to spread your wings and go walk around the island. Now, I want there to be a giant stained glass window in the library. And so the sun sets over there, which means it rises over here. And I think the morning sun would be perfect to catch this light. I've laid out a little footprint here for the build, and this looks pretty good. It's definitely going to be the biggest build on this island. So let's get to building. I did find a picture of an old library that I really liked, and I think it would work well on this island. We're not going to do it exactly the same, but maybe I'll throw up the picture that I'm going off of. And we are going to turn it into our own little wonky fairy library. First, I'm going to mark this all in with one solid color, and then I will go back in and detail it, because that's personally how I prefer to build. It's easier for me to think about it. I can't really detail on the fly unless I've already built it before and I'm just recreating it, but this build, I'm just totally making it up as I go along. Alright, I have blocked in the framework for this main part of the build. I actually don't love how close this window gets to the roof here, so I think I'm going to shift it down a couple blocks. And then I will get to... Okay, I have the basic shape I want. I've only done the front face because I think I can get a pretty good idea of how I want the rest of it to go, and then I can kind of detail as I go along. I mostly just wanted to get this area chiseled out a little bit to figure out how this circular tower was going to connect to this main section of the build. So with that, I think we can finish this off with a time lapse. Have probably like 90% of the basic outer structure done. We just need this tower to be finished, and then we have to put in this giant stained glass window. But we do still need glass. So I'm going to take a little break from building and just kind of work on the interior and getting our librarians put into place. This is where we're at for the outside of the library. We still have a little bit of finishing touches to go, and then I do have to put the top on the tower, but I would like it to be copper, and I just don't have a lot of copper right now, and we also don't have honey. If you're curious, this is how I do my gradients. I just kind of lay it out on the ground and see what I like and what I don't like. And you can see some blocks in there that didn't really make it to the final build because I was like, I don't really like that much. And I am also going to add a little bit of a gradient to the roof. But basically, the way that I colored this was I was imagining the sun being over here somewhere, casting light down on this way. And so, you know, a lot of the eaves and stuff have darker blocks on them because the sun is kind of casting a shadow. And I really like the way that this stained glass window came out. It looks really cool in my opinion. We also have to make our front door here, and we'll probably make it a little bit wider because it's just one block right now. But here's the inside. We're going to do a little bit of a detailed roof for this section right here and decorate the inside so that it's like a little welcome area. In here is where we're keeping all of our villagers. We only have a couple right now because something happened with our villager breeder. It doesn't really want to produce villagers, and this guy... I have healed this guy like 3 times now, and somehow every time a zombie comes in and re-zombifies him. But so far we have the essentials. This guy was selling me bookshelves because I still need bookshelves. This guy has feather falling 4. We have a sweeping edge. This guy I think is like I don't remember what he is. We have a silk touch. So we have more slots for more villagers. Once we get them bred up, we might have to resort to a more classic villager breeder with a farm. And this guy I had to make into a cleric because I have so much rotten flesh from our zombie spawner, and I needed emeralds to trade for bookshelves. So he is now a diamond level cleric. On the second level here, it's going to be pretty open. And like I said, I'm trading emeralds for bookshelves, so I don't have a ton. Up here will probably be more bookshelves and maybe some storage stuff. And right here will be bookshelves, and here will be bookshelves. And then I built a little fireplace here. We're gonna put a little tables and chairs. And to get to the final level here, we just have some ladders. And we're gonna put more bookshelves and tables and chairs and all that good stuff up here once we get the materials. This chandelier, how do we feel about it? I don't know what I think. It is nice for like a naturey type back into the nature theme we're going for here. But it might just be a little bit, might be a little much. I don't know. Maybe it'll grow on me. No pun intended. But at some point I will have to decide where I want these to hang down to, because I would like to create some sort of a shape with this. So we'll have to trim it at some point. And then back here, I'm thinking we're going to put a sugarcane farm so that we can passively be making paper for our librarians. I think this build is coming together really nicely, but we are going to leave the finishing touches for in between episodes because that is all I have time for this week. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!